What's up everyone, Kevin here with another Bookmap tutorial. In this video I'm going to be explaining to you guys what exactly is order flow and why is Bookmap so important and makes it so easy to read order flow and helps us to understand where the volume is in the market so we could really be on the right side of the trades. So let's get into it and I'll show you exactly what we're looking at. So when we're looking at Bookmap, we're essentially looking at two major aspects. We're looking at the time and sales and the level 2. Now, if we were to pull up time and sales and level 2 on some other type of software, something like Thinkorswim, for example, it's going to show us this. It's going to show us what time. This is our time and sales, the time, if it was at the ask, the price, and the bid. And it's going to tell us the size. It's not really going to tell us if this was a buy order. Green doesn't mean it was a buy order on TOS. Red doesn't mean it was a sell order on TOS. All that means is that it was either higher than the previous transaction or lower than the previous transaction. Now, when we look at the level 2, we also see our ask size, our bid size, our ask price, and bid price. Now, it's essential and it's very important to be aware of volume of time and sales level 2, whether you're a scalper or a day trader, even if you're a swing trader, just to be aware of how strong is the volume in the market and where am I entering, why am I entering, and do I have that extra confirmation of volume, because we need volume to continue when we are trying to push in a trend. So there's two things we could do. We could either look at our time and sales in level 2 with something like Thinkorswim, or we could use something like Bookmap where it gives us the visual of the time and sales in level 2, making it that much easier. So for example, if we're looking for the time and sales, these are orders that were executed in the market. We're going to look at these bubbles and the volume bars down here. Now, as you guys see, Nasdaq's currently making a bit of a push higher. We're pulling some orders over here, starting to lose steam, but you see in the process we are creating these large circles or bubbles, and it tells you the volume, it tells us the spread, it tells us buy order if it's green, it tells us the sell order if it's red. And that's something that we don't get on Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim is just going to tell us the time and sales, how many orders, and again, it's going to give us our level 2 as well, but it's not giving us the visual. Now, when we're looking at our time and sales and our level 2, when we're looking at heat map shows us the level 2. So if we're looking at the level 2, we're really looking for how many lots or how heavy is the ask if we want to see if we're going to break a specific level, or how heavy is the bid as well. So knowing these levels and knowing what we're looking for, once we use Bookmap, it really helps us visualize this. So instead of having to go through time and sales on something like Thinkorswim where it's jumping around and keep jumping and you got to try to line it up, and is that a real order? Does this order have history? Has it been there? Was it there already, or did they pull it? All of these questions can be explained and answered with Bookmap because it visualizes these orders for us, and it also shows us the volume bubbles in the past, because again, that will show us all these green bubbles over the small red bubbles, shows us the strength in the market. We have been pushing higher on the heat map. They have been bringing their orders up higher. So this has been a pretty clear but pretty simple bull trend at the moment on the Nasdaq. Now, something else we're going to look at is the current order book. The current order book shows us what we're looking at if we were looking at our level 2. So the level 2 we see down here is shown on the current order book, which is also the heat map. Our session volume profile, our chart volume profile, this is where we would see our time and sales. These are orders that were transacted already at these levels. So it's really important to be able to read volume and volume analysis, and Bookmap really does make it that much simpler that we don't have to be trying to read and catch up with all of this. We could maybe make the size a bit heavier, make the size a bit lighter, but we'd be worrying about and looking at the ask size, the bid size, whereas Bookmap gives us a much more simple example, and it shows us where there's buying, where there is a heavy sell wall. We could see right here at this 18,250, which is a key psychological level. has a pretty strong sell wall here. We see the red level right here forming around 18,242. And again, this is something that if you wanted, you could use time and sales level 2 on something like Thinkorswim, a basic level 2 I'm talking about. But using this basic level 2 compared to Bookmap, it's going to take you a little bit longer to find those levels, and that little bit longer could be keeping you out of a really good entry on your trades. So Bookmap is super important to use. Make sure when you guys sign up, use the code BullishBears to save 20% off your first monthly fee when you get a monthly subscription. Take care, everyone. Happy trading, and see you guys in our community.